Tokyo 2016 and the road to Rio. Venezuela and Canada kick off day 4 of competition for Olympic qualifying. And the games are only about 9 weeks away now, so the players will have to negotiate some World League volleyball in between this qualifying series and the main draw of the Olympic Games. There's the points table. Venezuela, the only nation not to score a point at this tournament. And Canada's stirring 5-set win over Australia yesterday lifts them to 5th, just outside the qualification. Of course, the best 4 nations will go through. Asia are guaranteed of 1 qualifier for the Olympic Games. They could get more because Iran have done really well. Both Iran and China with 2 wins so far. There's Venezuela's lineup. Pinaroa, their top scorer, but they need more from their middle blockers. That's for sure after yesterday's disappointing showing. They were outpointed by China in straight sets, and there is Canada. They lead many divisions of the statistics of these qualifying matches, but with only 1 win out of 3, they've been stretched to 5 sets in each of their 3 encounters. Gavin Schmid, the top scorer in the competition overall. They didn't get through their Norcisa qualifying. The regional zone qualification was won by Cuba. Canada having to battle injury and illness for that series. And Venezuela, who played in Japan last year at the World Cup with limited success, have gone on a losing streak in Olympic qualifying. They're looking to turn that around. They desperately need the points to stay in the hunt for Games qualification for Rio. Let's now pause for the anthems, national anthems of both Canada and Venezuela.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Great self-belief in this Canadian lineup, certainly after coming from behind 2-1 down against Australia yesterday and pulling off a fabulous win in the 5th set, courtesy of some excellent serving, perhaps the best serving we've seen so far in the tournament. Nicholas Hogue with a match high, 7 aces for the match.
Presentation of the international referees. The first referee is Ms. Han Ji from the Republic of Korea.
There's Kang Jo-hee from Korea, the first referee.
Mr. Yuraj Mokri from Slovakia.
Yuraj Mokri of Slovakia, her assistant. Referees have done a terrific job at this tournament. The coaches have been right on the mark with the new challenge system. So it's time for Venezuela to stand up. They've shown glimpses of their best, but have not been consistent. Let's see if their coach, Vincenzo Nacci, will tweak the starting lineup. So Jonlan Barreto comes into the starting lineup. At least one change. Fernando Gonzalez is there. Valencia, Carrasco, Pitaroa, Chiara, and Brasina. So they've made one change to the starting 6. And Brasina will come in as the starting libero, it appears. Hector Mata has been favoured in that position. Vincenzo Nacci, the most inexperienced coach of these Olympic qualifiers, Italian-born. Tyler Sanders, one of the most consistent setters in the competition. Gord Perrin, Nicholas Hogue, Justin Duff. Van Dorn comes into the lineup with Schmidt and Daniel Lewis, one of the oldest players of the tournament. So it is Van Dorn for Adam Seamatch in the starting lineup for Canada. Glenn Hogue, plenty of experience. Of course, the father of Nicholas Hogue, who had an outstanding match against Australia yesterday. But 3 consecutive 5-set encounters has tested their physical prowess at this tournament. They look fresh, they look keen, and a win may carry them into the top 4 of this 8-team competition. First time they've met in Olympic qualifying since 1996, when Canada won 3-1 in Portugal. Both teams on that occasion failed to qualify for the Atlanta Games. It's Fernando Gonzalez serving to start forward. Comes up with a service error to commence day 4 of competition. Service was so brilliant the other day, or yesterday, from Canada. Both their float and their jump serving. Oh, that's crunched. Great start there by Van Dorn. Rising quickly. We know Venezuela have one of the weakest defences at these Olympic qualifiers. Only 3 stuff blocks yesterday. Very light on in that department. This is the area they can excel in attack. First effort denied. Here's Pitaroa. Oh, good adjustment by the Venezuelan captain to keep it alive, and backcourt cover was excellent from Canada. The touch over, very clever. Point to Venezuela. It's Valencia at the line. Van Dorn once more, and he had just too much on the spike against the double block. 3-1 to Canada. They met at last year's World Cup. Canada won in straight sets. Ho came up with 7 aces yesterday. Tip over was well covered by the Canadians. Lord Perrin into the corner. And excellent work by Hector Mata. And that's in. Point to Venezuela. Good reception by Hogue. Schmidt on the angle and caught the block. Well, Gavin Schmidt has really monstered every statistic at this tournament. Top scorer in qualifying so far, 67 points. Top ace gatherer with 9. 10th in the blocks department with 7. So overall, he's been a real giant for Canada. Pinaroa. Stay in the rally though. Mata with the set, and it's forced down to ground. Good work by Chiara. Middle blocker, one of the tallest men in the lineup at 203 centimetres. So whilst they want that type of attack, they'll also want much gnarlier defence from their middle two. Service error, Canada leading 5-3 first set. Here's their opposite, Schmid. And what makes his performance all the more better, he's come back from a couple of stress fractures in the tibia. Glenn Hogue said they were all banged up after their regional qualifiers. They had to just get healthy again and refocus on the task of qualifying in Japan. Perrin denied. But, a net touch sees the point to Venezuela. 5-all, first set. Jonathan Chiara. Well, he's poetry in motion when he gets going. Here's Gavin Schmidt. Just floats through the air. Directed that to the one-man cover of Chiara. On the line, very hard ball to defend. Canadians not quite locked into the contest. It's been an arduous campaign for them. The only team to have played 3 consecutive 5-set matches. That's better. Justin Duff. Finds the right result, Fernando Gonzalez. For a 7-all scoreline. 195 centimetre wing spiker. And a consistent World Cup last year. Across the spikes and his defensive work. Oh, that's quick, really quick. You can see in transition how it caught the Venezuelan defence napping. And Van Dorn gives Canada the lead at the first technical timeout. They lead 8-7 first set. Well, Canada were outblocked yesterday by Australia, 13-9, but they certainly outspiked them. 71-58 on that count. They served superbly. That was the big difference, Glenn Hogue said, and Roberto Santilli in the post-match press conference, saying the serve was the edge that Canada needed in that first set. Both float and jump serve. That was Tyler Sanders getting enough dip. Awkward one to control. Not handled by Gonzalez. 2-point spread to Canada. Good set. Penaroa crunches the spike. Excellent work by Carrasco with that back set. Double block couldn't do the business for Canada, but Penaroa could. Hogue, good angle kill. So yes, excellent tournament. Yesterday, 23 points, 14 blocks, 7 aces, or 14 spikes, 7 aces and 2 blocks to be exact. Really consistent across the board. Good adjustment by Venezuela, but Canada staying the point. Perrin just rolls it off the top of the block. Barreto returns the favour. Canada in the box seat, but that's a fantastic effort. They need more of that if they are to stay in the tournament. We didn't see enough of it yesterday. The double block successful. Chiara coming up big. Venezuela trail 9-10 in the first set. Hogue sends that long. 10-all. Well, they're a team that can go on a run, Venezuela.
Challenge by Canada.
The challenge, though, by Canada. A line call challenge. I think they're going to be disappointed.
The challenge is ball in out.
And they are clearly out. One challenge left, 2 per set for either team in 7 categories. One being the in-out call. It's 10-all. Penaroa, wicked jump serve. Well received though. Perrin rolls it in. That's excellent work. Control over power there from Gord Perrin. He was the top scorer yesterday against Australia with 25 points, 23 spikes. And he found a nice range there. Contact off the block. John Lamberto levels things up. First set, 11-all. Well, they need to find some fire, Venezuela, if they're to withstand a very consistent all-rounder Canadian lineup. And that's the way to play and beat a defence. Play quickly, with precision. Good dig, excellent set. And Justin Duff did the rest. Again, good defence from Canada. Perrin. Sharp work by Sanders. There'll be a joust at the net. Perrin did well. Venezuela staying the point. Good defensive cover, Canada. Now arriving brilliantly is the Venezuelan captain, Pineda. Top scorer at the World Cup last year with Kervin Penaroa. 121 points. Came up with 56 blocks as well in the tournament. 12 all. Competitive first set. And he started really, really well, the number 6 for Canada, Justin Duff. He's the guy that can best change the rhythm front court for the Canadians. Very athletic, difficult to play to defend against. Nice adjustment. Now Schmid, and it finds fingers, I think. No. It's out. Point to Venezuela. No challenge by Canada. Remember, they've only got one left. And here's their setter, Jose Carrasco. Justin Duff once more. He's in the mood, the middle blocker. Second best blocker for Canada at last year's World Cup with 17. Pittaroa. Great defence at the back by Gord Perrin. Hogue should do the business that he does. Too hot to handle for John Lamboretto. Excellent set by Sanders, opened up the angle. And he's fairly crunched the spike into the body of Pareto. Sanders the set. And Schmid puts it down, but across the line. Tight one. They think about the challenge. Gavin Schmid just sending it long. Venezuela hanging tough. They trail 14-15 in this first set. This time it's sent down rapidly by Gavin Schmid. Timeout, 16-14 to Canada, first set. Justin Duff, 4 spikes, top scorer so far. With 4 points. He's been the man on fire, front court for Canada. They took the first set against Japan on the opening night, did Venezuela. Played some excellent volleyball, but they haven't produced their best enough in this tournament. Sanders at the line, serving with Canada leading 16-14. Pittaroa denied once. He'll get a second bite at it though. Oh, he sends that to the ground brilliantly. And no recovery from Canada. Sliding in Van Dorn. That's the skill of Kevin Pittaroa. 2 bites of the cherry and beating the double block. It's Valencia. Floats the serve in. And quick transition. Van Dorn did well through the centre. 17-15 Canada. Tyler Sanders, excellent setter. Plays in the Polish top flight with Bedsin. Hogue takes something off that jumper. Pittaroa goes for touch. Here's Schmid, just rolls it over the top of the block. Big chance here, Venezuela. The joust is competitive, but Canada still staying the point. Here's Pittaroa, triple block, denied by Canada. Irresistible. They had time to set. And Some big men do the trick, the final touch off Gavin Schmidt. So a good spell there for the Canadians. They lead 18-15 opening set.
Si la llama al final del juego solo puede llegar a la última. Igual, sí. ¿Y qué hice? Pegó y todo. Muchacho, una pelota alta, sea. Dime tú también afuera. Tíramela afuera.
Nick Hogue at the line. Canada in control, but hasn't been comprehensive by them by any means in this first set. 18-15. Fires in a big one. Good defence by the Canadians, denying Venezuela. Touched by Van Dorn. And there's been a net infringement found. Four-point spread. Things getting tight for Vincenzo Nachi's Venezuela off the tape. Well, adjustment by the Venezuelans. Good set. Gord Perrin finds the court. Point Canada, 20-15. That's how good they are in transition, the Canadians. Certainly better than their one win so far in the tournament. Push Poland. There were 2 sets to love up against Iran before capitulating. Big serve, that's a cruncher from Nick Hogue. He's got some real firepower. Off the service, winds up with a huge swing, great technique, good dip, irresistible. Another searing delivery. This time better received. Gollan rolls it over the block. Schmid is denied at the first attempt. Oh, that's a good spike. Excellent work by Fernando Gonzalez, deep in court. He saw the hole and exploited it. First appearance by Rodriguez, replacing Carrasco. Big serve, Pitaroa. Perrin sends it down well. 22-16. 6-point spread to the Canadians. Hayes comes in for Pitaroa. Canadians very much in control though. Floated by Van Dorn. Oh, that's a poor service reception to say the least. Well, a player that really should have been on top of it, Hector Mata. The libero has just got that all wrong. So Canada creeping towards the first set, 23-16 their advantage at the timeout. They've let it slip. Venezuela stayed with Canada midway through the set, but the Canadians have strung some excellent points together. Venezuela not helped by a number of errors in the last 5 points. Van Dorn floats the serve. That's big. First point for Emerson Rodriguez. The 202-centimetre wing spiker finds the corner. Andy Rojas fires a good one. Adjustment from Justin Duff. Triple block is good. Venezuela stay in the point. And that's clever work. He knew there was no way through the block, so he just caressed it on the angle. (18-23). Rojas sends another good one in. And that's long. And they need to refocus. Venezuela on a points run, but still with ground to make up. 19-23, timeout called by Canada. Opening set on day 4.
Let's go. 1-2, Canada.
It's been a good serving performance by Andy Rojas. That's long though. Set point to Canada. Commentators curse. You pump them up and they do that. With Gavin Schmidt at the line. Best server in the competition so far. Finds the tape with a serve. And that's sent down well. Jonathan Chiata saves 1 set point. Really produce a big jumper. More conservative approach. Good set by Sanders on the angle, and it finds the block. Gavin Schmidt comes up with a crucial point to claim the opener for Canada, 25 points to 20. Too consistent, too strong front court. And defensively as well. Opening set was dominated by the Canadian front court. Pinarai had moments. Triple block effective there for Canada. (17 attacks to 11). 7 errors though on the Canadian front. 2 blocks to 1. Canada did scramble well with 14 digs in that first set. Venezuelans will have to find another way. They're in that set for large portions of the contest, but in the end just trailed away 25-20. Canada searching for their second win of the tournament after 2 previous 5-set losses before their opening win yesterday against Australia. Remember, they pick up a point for each 5-set loss. That's the point structure. If you win a 5-setter, it's 2 points. The losing team gets 1. And if you win a match in straight sets or 3 sets to 1, it's 3 points to the winning team. Sanders at the line, with Canada claiming the opening set. Petaroa sends it down brilliantly in the opening point. He's a sweet athlete, just flies through the air, and he's got a crunching spike on him. In the top 5 point scorers in the competition, despite Venezuela's 0 points in the tournament. Van Dorn returns the favour. Hogue just overcooks the serve. 7 aces yesterday, the most by any player in a match at this tournament. That was his only 7 aces in them out of the 3 matches. So he went ace less in the first couple and then came up with 7 crackers against Australia. Good reaction, but couldn't find the court. Brasino, the libero of Venezuela, 2-all, second set. Too much defensive cover there. A triple deny. The block was out. Tight call, but Venezuela win the point, despite that very strong defensive cover. Edson Valencia at the line, floats it in. That's the way Justin Duff started the match. Just winds up with that roundhouse technique of his. Equal on 5 points with Van Dorn and Gavin Schmidt. That's a poor serve, just completely mistimed it. Bottom of the net for the 204 centimetre opposite. Petaroa, good delivery into the corner. And he finds the side of the block. Schmid for point 1 to Canada, 4-all. In the sweet spot by Tyler Sanders. Petaroa denied by the double block. Sanders at the opposite angle. And great reaction there from Hogue. Good up by Venezuela. And Hogue, effort at the net is out. You can see just lets a grimace of frustration go. He was there in plenty of time, but couldn't find the court. Stephen Marshall sees his first time on court, replacing Hogue. 5-4 to Venezuela. Barreto just rolls a difficult serve in. Perrin just has to set it back into court, and that's sent down brilliantly. Gonzalez rises well. 6-4 advantage, Venezuela. A crunching spike. Gord Perrin has been one of the tournament's most consistent, giving the backcourt of Venezuela no chance. And that's slapped down effectively. Chiara with a quick set there by the Venezuelans. Canada's defence not quite in position. Touch over from off the block. Touch over there was from Schmid. Couldn't quite get the right position from the set. Technical timeout. Venezuela have the lead, a 3-point spread, 8-5, second set. Canada trying to find the focus they displayed in the first set, but Venezuela on a roll in set number 2. 8-5 their advantage. Jonathan Chiara will go to the line. They've won 2 sets in the tournament so far against Japan and Australia. Sanders. Stephen Marshall denied. And he just couldn't quite find the right position there, Pineroa. Stretching for the put away. Sent it long. 6-8. Canada trail. Second set. This time Pineroa in a better position. The block is wide. Point Venezuela. Spiker Jose Carrasco just summing up his options from the serve. Oh, that is just awful. He's got a run up wrong and the connection was poor. So gifting the point to the Canadians. Stephen Marshall returns the favour. Canadians losing their focus in this second set. Off the tape. Good adjustment there by Lewis. Rolled over by Perrin. Sanders keeps Canada in the point. Perrin finds the court. Centimetre perfect as he rolled it to the back of the court, unoccupied by the Venezuelans, splitting the difference between Libero and Gonzalez. Valencia played quickly, but Canada were sharp in their defence, anticipating that quick move, and a really, really good block there by Justin Duff. Good set. Marshall reacted well. Back court, rolled over there by Perrin. I'm not sure what Valencia was thinking. He just didn't react at all to that pass that sold him a little bit short. So Canada fight back, 10-all, second set. This is where the inconsistencies can really hurt Venezuela. Need to maintain their high level. Tipped over, kept alive by Schmid. Here's Perrin, finds the open court, but Venezuela staying the point. Double block is good. Very good indeed, 11-10. Oh, triple block. Didn't quite pick up just the duff in the corner. But Canada fight back. They lead 10 or 11-10 in this second set.
Que se después la quiere rápida, no lo sé cómo está comunicando. Bueno, para mí mata, tiene que levantar la bola, muy importante. Tranquilo, estamos ahí, una y empatamos luego. Por favor, que no se vayan.
Tranquilo was the call. Relax. The Venezuelan bench. 11-10 Canada's lead after the Venezuelans led early in the set. South Americans need a reaction. Van Dorn at the line. Valencia denied, but the block is out. 11-all. Well, Venezuela have the ability to play quickly. At the moment, it's been marked strongly by the middle blockers of Canada. Duff reacted off the tape. Perrin, and the block's wide. The Canucks have a 1-point advantage. Oh, huge, massive there from Gavin Schmid. That's why he's the tournament's best server. Probably not as quick as Nick Hogue, but that was just precision at its best. Pace, spin, control, all there. 13-11 for Canada. Timeout, second set.
Vamos a que se vaya. Está gustando cuando lo saque. ¿Cómo fue? Mal. Tenemos que disfrutar mejor, que le está dando presión, ¿no? Que le estamos poniendo por alto. Dale. Vamos.
The Canadians have raised their level. Now Venezuela have to respond. Gavin Schmid serving at 13-11, with Canada leading by 1-0. Good return of serve, and John Land denied. Point to the Venezuelans though. Fell the right side. Carrasco off. Emerson Rodriguez back on. 1 point in it. Pineroa cracks the serve, but too long. There's nothing conservative about Kervin Pineroa's play. He's now replaced by Paez. A more defensive feel on the return of serve here for Venezuela. Important points coming up for that man and his team. Perrin strokes it in. Denied by the first block. Emerson will win the point for Venezuela. Has an immediate impact off the bench. Avoids the triple block. barely made it over the line, and that's excellent work. Stephen Marshall from the angle found the right connection. The block not quite set for Venezuela. On the service of Justin Duff. Good defence by the Canucks. Marshall once more. Van Dorn combines defence with attack. Oh, that's a complete hash of understanding. They all looked at each other. Technical timeout, and that is a coach killer. 16-13 to Canada, second set.
Chasing to the outside. Build. Come on.
All smiles on the Canadian bench. A little bit tenser with the Venezuelan squad. Had the advantage early in the set. That's been washed away by a combination of better play from Canada and some individual errors from the South Americans. It's Duff at the line. Canada leading 16-13. Gonzalez finds the block for a point to the Venezuelans. Marshall sends it down. Brilliant work. One of the smaller wing spikers in the tournament, 193 centimetres. He possesses a very useful vertical leap. Good set, play quickly, and Valencia ends the point. Slapping it to ground for 15-17. You can see that's the real benefit of playing quickly. Excellent set there by Carlos Diaz. He'll serve as the deputy setter in the absence of Carrasco. The follow-up's not too flash by Emerson Rodriguez. Nelson Rivas, we haven't seen him in the match so far. Crunching by Emerson. And the second effort, Valencia finds the block for a point to Venezuela. Stephen Marshall did really well to keep Canada in the point. Two-point spread. Second service error and as many points for Venezuela. Van Dorn trying to focus on the task. Catches the tape. Playing quickly. And sharp reaction by Marshall. The other side, but the referee knows the point to the Venezuelans. Challenge by Canada. Net touch is the challenge. So the officials will pore over the vision. They've got a number of angles to adjudicate. They'll only put one up though. It's the definitive angle that they make the decision on. 17-19, so a crucial challenge. Glenn Hogue looking on. Will it be successful? He lost the challenge in the first set. Yep, net touched by Paez. So well picked up by the Canadian bench. Point to Canada. Successful challenge. They lead 20-16, second set. Van Dorn. The deep spike is well attended to by Canada. Here's Perrin, sends it to ground. Big play, Canada, 21-16. He split the double block. Just too sharp there from the angle. Good string of points by Van Dorn. Emerson denied by the block. A fault at the net. So Venezuela claimed the point. They trailed 17-21. It's a poor serve by Valencia. They just need to be a lot better in that department. Just so frustrate Vincenzo Nacci, the young coach of Venezuela. Gavin Schmidt will wind up at a big jumper. He does, but ducks it into the net. 4 points to Canada. Venezuela trail 18-22. Poor service reception. Somehow Canada stay in the point. Perrin sends it to ground with another huge play. 23-18. He's been the difference in the last few points. Sharp technique. It was Lewis that kept the point alive for Canada, but Perrin settled the issue. He can't follow it up with a decent serve. A little bit contagious between the two teams. Been a poor service set by both Venezuela and Canada. Oh, that's poetry in motion. Gavin Schmidt, nothing stopping that to generate set point. Duff floats at middle court. Out wide. Gonzalez saw the block just wide. So they claw one back. Schmidt this time wins the second set. Comfortable stuff from Canada. He's just irrepressible. Gavin Schmidt with point number 9 and 25-20 in both sets. 2 sets to love to the Canucks. All smiles for the Canadian fans. A good start in that set though by Venezuela. Jonlin and Pideroa in good form. Frustration for Nicholas Hogue. There's the Venezuelan captain, denied by a triple block on that occasion. Canada found their feet midway through the set. South Americans not aided by errors like that when three players just looked at each other, not attending to the ball. Schmidt was awesome in the pressure moments for Canada. And the 2 sets still have advantage. There's a pretty convincing scoreline. 14 attacks to 13. Error count pretty similar. 2 blocks by the Canadians to none from Venezuela. It's been their Achilles heel in this tournament. Lack of defensive cover, and it's costing them in this particular match as well. I hope you're enjoying the action wherever you're watching through the FIVB channel on YouTube throughout the world. Fans of the Maple Leaf will be very impressed with the scenario. 2 sets to love up after yesterday's stirring win over Australia. If you're a Venezuelan fan, you know a result here is paramount to your chances of qualifying for the Olympic Games. Yet to win a point in the tournament, Venezuela. And they need to stage a remarkable fight back against the Canadians, who by day's end may find themselves inside the top 4, depending on the other results. Gonzalez serving to start the 3rd set. Strong block, but net touch picked up. First point to Venezuela, 3rd set. It's out. Venezuela have made 2 World Cup appearances and 1 at the Olympic Games. Finished 9th in Beijing. Strong work by Pinaroa. Canada trying to end a 24-year absence from the Olympics. 3 times they've qualified for the Games, including their 4th place finish at the LA Olympics of 1984. Been a fair absence for them too in World Cup play. First time in 12 years they appeared last year. So under the guidance of Glenn Hogue, it's an upward spiral in the fortunes for Canada. Gonzalez sends it to ground, but it's wide. Point to the Canadians. 3-2 their advantage, 3rd set. Oh, that's a slice of luck that is really cruel for Venezuela. Catching the top of the tape, just rolling over to make the service return ever so difficult. And the cue ever so easy for Canada. 4-2. Stephen Marshall did some good things in that 2nd set. He's at the service line. Barreto denied. Fist from Schmidt. Kept alive. In a row deep. Canada reorganise themselves. Perrin just rolls it over the double block. Here's Barreto once more. And that's wide off the block for a point to Venezuela. Collision between Carrasco and Pinero. Pinero just feeling for his right ankle and his midriff area that were connected. So just flexing his right leg. Not going for full bore on the serve. Perrin in a good position. Desperation here for Venezuela, rolled over by Gonzalez. And that's point to the Venezuelans. 2 touches picked up by the Korean referee, Kang Jo-hee. Stretching every sinew, but stretching a little bit too much. Serve out, 5-4 Canada, first set. Set number 3. In fact, we're at 2 sets to love their advantage. Van Dorn strung some points together in that second set to close it out for Canada. Gonzalez denied by a triple block. Huge play, Canada. All smiles, Justin Duff. He was the man in the centre. Two-point lead to the Canucks. Kill had too much on it for Sanders. Barreto timed his leap and connection brilliantly there for Venezuela. Follows up with a good serve, but Duff slaps it into court. Off the block for a 7-5 lead to Canada. Single block by Chiata. Could not deny Justin Duff. He's had a productive match. Schmidt sends his serve long. Perrin. That is very good play off the angle. Up to 11 points for the match. Timeout, the first technical timeout of the third set, with Canada leading 8-6. So not much has to be said from the coach.
Hey, nice block, you guys. Separate the ball, then come back into the open it down, then seal the line, get their hand, funnel the ball back. Okay? Let's go. Go, boys. 1, 2. Let's go.
Looking to build a head of steam is Canada. Survival is on the mind of Vincenzo Nacci of Venezuela. 2 sets to love down and trailing 6-8. It's a precarious position to be in without a point in the tournament. Gord Perrin, the top scorer for Canada at the line, leading 8-6 third set. Pineroa sends it down, strong spike from the angle. He is just a supreme athlete in this Venezuelan team. Starting his leap, of course, behind that 3-metre line. Easy pickings for Duff, but finds the block. Here's Pineroa once more. Defence is successful there for Canada. And second attempt. Gee, I anticipated that tip really well. Sanders, I think, with the final say. I knew what was coming from Gonzalez. Sanders with a crucial touch. 9-7. Off the block. Point to Venezuela. Strong work, Gonzalez. Looking at the Venezuelan points gatherers. Pineroa at the top, but no player in double figures. He's got 8. And 2 with John Lamb and Fernando Gonzalez on 6. And only 2 blocks won for the entire match. It was always going to be their concern area, Venezuela. Sanders was the serve. Pineroa lobs it over the top of the block, and now the easy put away by Valencia. Canada dropped their guard. Valencia there to pounce. Not enough quality there off the dig of Stephen Marshall. Second time he's made a hash of the dig. Marshall, not his strong point. 10-all, third set. It's a Valencia. Targets Marshall. This time he gets it right. Oh, it's wide. It's carried off the tape out wide. I thought they have found the court. And a timeout call. They've lost their focus in this third set. Slice of misfortune off the tape, just rolling across the almost entire duration of the tape. Timeout, Venezuela leading 11-10, third set.
Let's go, hey. Come on now. Come on, 1, 2.
Let's play some defense. That's the call from the Canadian bench. Just dropped their guard a little, Venezuela with the advantage, 11-10 on Valencia's serve. That's brilliant. Really strong from Gavin Schmidt. That's why he's the top point scorer in the competition. One of the best opposites in world volleyball. And that's why. Pineroa. And the block is wide. Well, he's just got great hang time, hasn't he, Kevin Pineroa? We've made a pretty useful basketballer, I would suggest. Big jump serve there from the captain. Perrin off the top of the block. Pineroa scrambling for Venezuela. And the block is successful. Canada win the point. Jonlin couldn't find the opening. And what they wanted at the timeout, they've done well. Better defensive cover. It's 12-all on the serve of Van Dorn. Another stuffed block, but it goes the wrong way for Canada. 13-12 to Venezuela. Duff in position, but the quality of the spike was too good. Sanders, the set, Schmid off the top of the block. Angle is too acute. And Gonzalez sends that wide. just been a little off with his serve today. He expects so much of his game. Canada do rely on he and Nicholas Hogue and Gord Perrin. And this man as well, who started the match so brightly, but has not been as effective in sets 2 and 3. I'm referring, of course, to Justin Duff. 15-13, Venezuela, third set. Perrin, it's wide. Timeout. Venezuela to 16 points. Third set, they have control. Glenn Hogue calling for a bit of Canuck pride in this third set. Venezuela with the advantage and a 3-point spread, 16-13. With Jonathan Chiata. Oh, poor serve. You just don't want to gift points to this Canadian team. Want to make them earn everything. 14-16. Perrin floats it in. Here's Pinaroa. Oh, that's a terrific block. Didn't know too much about it. Second attempt by Pinaroa, denied again. Number 3, third time lucky, no. Canada hanging in there. Great defense by the Canadians. Stephen Marshall over the top. Net touch picked up. Point to Canada. That might may just spark them into action. 15-16. Set number 3. Poor service reception by Barreto. And they just sit and wait and really have put the advantage Canada's way, but he can't take advantage of it. Schmidt, 9 times out of 10 would have put that away. Great position, good set, but he's found the net. And perhaps a little bit of Fernando Gonzalez along the way as well. 17-15. Schmidt, second time denied. Huge block. There's Gonzalez coming up big. Massive play, Venezuela. And they lead with an advantage of 18-15, third set.
One ball here, we'll turn a couple. Leave it. Let's go. 1, 2.
Venezuela have raised their level. Canada have dropped theirs, and as a result, a 3-point margin to the South Americans. Duff has the backcourt stretching. Barreto couldn't make up the ground, and they claw a point back, 16-18. That's playing quickly, playing into the strength of Justin Duff. His roundhouse technique at net very hard to defend against. Valencia doesn't get it off on the spike. Tipped over. They scramble. Can they keep it alive? The foot. Oh, Barreto can't. Of course, that's legal in volleyball. So it's a 1-point break to Venezuela. Canada coming back. Duff at the line. Insipid serve though. It's far too inconsistent in this set for Glenn Hoag's liking. Remember, they've played 3 atrocious 5-set encounters. Can Gonzalez come up with the right delivery? Struck it really well. Oh, that's brilliant. He didn't go for power, went for placement. And Stephen Marshall has won the point for Canada. Just wasn't in position to crunch the spike, so went for that spin across the double block. Experience work. Barreto denied. Here's Perrin. No double touch. Triple block's good. And point to Canada. They draw level. The block was in position quickly. They read Venezuela's intentions. And Barreto had to get through that wall, which he couldn't. And the first time we've seen Villain Rivas in, so perhaps carrying a little injury. Normally starting player for Venezuela. On the Sanders serve. It's a rapid fire move. Ended by Kervin Pineroa. He's such an explosive player. Superb to watch. Points tally up to 9. Schmid finds the block. Pineroa likewise. And the referees confer there may be a challenge here. I think there's going to be. A block touch challenge fired in by Venezuela. And judging on the noise, I heard a double noise. They're a good chance of getting it. I may be wrong, but they're pretty confident. Massive point to challenge to 20 all. Let's just see if there's a block touch. It has found the thumb, so a touch adjudicated. Well picked up by the Venezuelan bench. 21-19, a huge play. Valencia. Good set. Schmid off the top. Whistle blown. And a point to Canada. So a fault found at net. Verhoff comes in for his first time on court, replacing the Colossus Schmid. Stephen Marshall hits the line with Canada trailing by 1 point. Oh, big block, huge, but it's wide. They think about the challenge. It is going to be a challenge, a line called challenge, I believe, by the Canadians. Ball in out challenge, so it is a line call. Hawkeye will indicate to us whether it's successful. At 22-20, it is a very important challenge indeed. Let's see if it's in or out. It is out, so point to Venezuela. They're getting the rub of the green with the challenges in this third set. As Emerson Rodriguez replaces Carrasco. 2-point margin to the South Americans. Pinero with a big serve. The set from Sanders, and Perrin sends it to ground. Point to Canada. Well constructed it was. Good angle used by Gord Perrin to find the corner of the court. We know Van Dorn doesn't have a jump serve, so he'll float it into play. Let's see if they can construct it to here. Venezuela. Rivas denied by a huge block. Gord Perrin coming up big, levelling things up at 22-all. Single block could not be pierced by Venezuela's number 19. And it's level pegging in this third set. It is a really tough scenario for Venezuela. They desperately need to stay in this tournament. They've only won 2 sets throughout the whole event, yet to claim a point. And it's 22-all in the third set. On the angle, Emerson. Stuff block is good. Canada edge closer. 23-22. Justin Duff's come up at big moments for the Canadians. And it was their captain at timeout, 23-22.
Ahora cambiamos, pero que hagamos un punto 3 para 3, 4 para 4, un punto como sea. Vamos con una, señores, vamos con una y empatamos. Vamos con una y empatamos. Metemos una defensita. Vamos con una y empatamos y metemos una defensita. Vamos que vamos con una. Ven ahora.
23-22 to the Canucks on the serve of Daniel Van Dorn. Emerson, triple block, but it falls out. He found the right connection. 23-all. Villian Rivas with his first serve of the match. Big time to go to the line. Touch over by Duff. And point to Canada. Off the defensive moves of the Venezuelans for match point to the Canucks. John Lambretta comes back in for Rivas. And the first appearance we've seen of Van Langveld for Sanders on match point. On the serve of their captain, Rudy Verhoff. Server's fault. (24-all). And now they get the substitution with Sanders back in. Oh, that's a poor reception, but it's kept alive by Canada. Only just, though. They scramble once more. Here's Perrin finding the open court. No, he doesn't. It floats out. So set point now to Venezuela. They've turned it around to give themselves a chance. On the serve of Rojas. Here's Perrin. They deny Venezuela at the first attempt. Gonzalez, oh, great reaction by Perrin. Here's Verhoff, and the captain comes up big. Massive point. You must credit Gord Perrin for that lunging up to keep it alive for Canada. And Rudy Verhoff has had really slim pickings throughout the tournament. The Canadian captain comes up with a crunching spike to set up match point. Emerson sends it wide, and there it is, straight sets to Canada. They march on in the tournament, and a huge win for them after 3 5-set encounters, tough ones too. They've claimed Venezuela in straight sets, 25-20, 25-20, 27-25. And Venezuela are still without a point in the tournament. Gord Perrin was massive for the Canadians in this match. The top scorer with 16 points, Gavin Schmidt, claimed 11. And they've withstood the challenge in the third set to claim it in consecutive sets. All smiles for Canada, 14 attacks to 12 in a very tight third set, 11 errors to 7. In the blocking department, they just had the edge over Venezuela in this match. 6-2 in that set. Scoreboard didn't quite to tell the full story for Venezuela, but still without a win in this tournament. Match highlights, and plenty of highlights for Canada. Pinero was dominant for Venezuela. The Canadians did scramble really well throughout the match. Kept the number of points alive. Use of the foot there by Barreto. Some errors at bad times for Venezuela cost them dearly. Canada didn't have the serving match they enjoyed against Australia, but certainly came up when it mattered. Gavin Schmidt, the second top scorer with 11 points. Gord Perrin led the way with 16. Consecutive wins to the Canucks. Improves their stocks of qualifying for the 2016 Rio Olympics.
Remember the name.
Hey, Will. Hey, now, me, Jess. I like it.
Feel that set, Cap. Atta boy. Atta boy, Cap. Atta boy, 5.
¿Tú qué haces conmigo? Creo que sí.